Hey, all right, there we go. There was that. I must have restarted that recording at least 3 times because just when I was recording it, I heard someone say, "I think I muted my mic" or something like that. Anyways, welcome, and we are here, and we are not live. We are recording this game, but it will be on the YouTubes, both on my channel that I share with Harry Pollitt, Two Guys Tea and D&D. It's down at the bottom of the overlay. And also, it will be on the Jinja Ninja. Is that what he calls his channel still? It has been a while since I have been there, but Chris Villeneuve,
The
who,
R and Ginger, I think it was.
yeah, okay. So it will be there. And this is actually session 25 of the March of Annihilation, which is like a West Marches style game in the land of Chult, where these brave adventurers are actually risking it all with the death curse still fully in effect to try and reap more riches and, well, whatever. Anyways, so I want to give y'all a second to, we'll go around. You can just introduce yourselves and let us all know who you will be playing. Well, for us, for me, it's evening. This evening, let's start with you, Ian.
Absolutely. So I'm playing Mezereck The Mage. He's a wizard of. He's like in his 70s, something to this effect, and that's about it.
I like it, short and sweet. That's really awesome. And Bjorn, who are you playing?
Yeah, so I'm playing a human barbarian, which is named Bjorn. He's been in Chult for a while, actually, and has had numerous experiences, some better than others. And hopefully he'll survive this session as well, and with a bit more treasure, if we're good.
I was muted. And Dan.
I'm going to be playing Mir. She is a halfling moon druid. She's old, kind of like wrinkled, but still fit. Kind of, she has a sharp intellect in her eyes, still kind of all there. And she has adventured with this group multiple times, so we all kind of know each other very well. She's kind of like the mother of the group.
Perfect. And last but not least, Thomas.
Alright, I'm playing a swashbuckling rogue named Kira. Not really much to say. He's a rogue. He likes all things shiny. So.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll get started. So, what brought you guys to the southern parts of Chult is rumor of this great turtle, ancient and mysterious, but goes by the name of King Toba in Snapping Turtle Bay. The mage Mezereck pulled together this group, hired a boat, a guide, and you guys set out. The journey itself was rather uneventful over the last just over a week. Fair weather, good winds have carried you south along the coast of Chult. Probably feels good when you're used to the constant rainfall within the actual Chult itself. And so we are going to pick up this adventure as your ship has slowly begun to approach the bay itself. A steady rain has started to fall, and you hear the captain giving orders to his crew as the ship, it's about midday, I would say. And I guess the first question I would have for folks is, what are folks about? Where would we find each of you on this ship?
Kira would probably be off towards the back of it meditating.
Mezereck has spent most of his time below with some of the navigational charts and just making sure that double checking with his guide, actually, just like taking information from the guide. But actually, by the time we've been coming to this like midday now, we've been approaching Snapping Bay. The last couple of hours he's been on, like, just up on deck. You know, he's got a lot of things on his mind, and so he makes his way over to Mir, actually.
So the two of you are below deck, and where is Akira? Oh wait, no, you said you were at the back of the boat, right? Meditating? It's Bjorn that I meant.
So Bjorn, as mentioned, he has been out on a couple expeditions, so he probably knows the crew or some of them. So since day one, he's definitely on deck and helping his way around, maneuvering the boat in any way he can help. And he's definitely not like a joyous kind of dude, but he does his best to pull his weight around and not be a bother to the rest of the crew.
Yeah, the rain is cool as it runs along your body, Bjorn. The deck, however, is quite treacherous for someone who has not spent his life at sea. You slip a few times, maybe to the chuckle of some of the other crew. You notice most of them are bare-chested, will wear very light muslin shirts, but it's all in good fun. You're actually quite a competent hand. The deck rolls slowly beneath you all. There's the creaking of the rigging, the whipping of the sails, and again, the constant rainfall. You hear the captain yell an order to the helmsman who is up steering this two-masted vessel. And Mezereck and Mira, you sit below deck. You're looking contemplatively at this map with the guide. Remind us who Mezereck had hired.
So Mezereck had hired. His name's Quilgok, actually, and he's also a turtle guide, and he knows this area and much more about this area than actually we did. So we kind of located him in just by the docks in Nyanzaru.
Perfect. This hunched turtle smiles at you toothlessly. He points with one of his stubby digits, and here, it is here. This is where we must go. We are almost there. And then he would smile wryly towards you and say, "It is not too late to turn back." And he had been telling you this for days. This is not his first time leading foolish adventurers down to try to challenge the king. And the bay itself, he says, is littered with the skeletons of their ships.
Bjorn would ask him if he has any clue where we could find its lair, and also that they have come this far and there's no way they would turn back now.
Yeah, so Bjorn would come into this small cabin, dripping wet, And I don't know if that's your nature, Bjorn, but you immediately just asked that question. He turns his head slowly. He kind of does this little thing with his neck, where it kind of almost like it's going to go back into its shell. And he says, "Under the sea, that's where it would be." And then he kind of shrugs, as do not know exactly where it is.
As he says that, Mir has been focusing on her commune with nature ritual. And essentially what it does is I can pick 3 facts of my choice about the surrounding area. It could be about the terrain or any creatures or anything like that. For example, I could determine the location of a powerful undead or something. So she would try to figure out generally where this dragon turtle is, any very large underwater caves that might be nearby, and any sources of corruption or anything like that that might be nearby within 3 miles of the ship.
Perfect. Yeah. I guess as you are, it's indicated by the captain that you grow close. That's when you do this, Mira. You sense corruption. It's strong and almost overpowering, coming from the mainland itself. As a ship rolls through the waves, you sense no or very little corruption from the path ahead of you. Even the bay itself. There's something there, but it feels distant and deep. But like I said, from Chult itself, the thick mangroves, the overgrown vegetation that you see hanging out over the sea, you sense much corruption coming from there.
Okay. And every morning when Mir wakes up, she would kind of like feed everybody like a little piece of bread, and they would for a moment sprout gills that would recede back, casting water breathing, and then water walk as a ritual every morning.
Perfect. And that lasts 8 hours?
I believe so. I'll check, but you can move on.
Yep, perfect. So you go through this motion as you've drawn close, but you know the journey is almost at its end, or maybe at its beginning, depending on your point of view. You hear a yell up above, muffled because of the weather and the deck itself, but you hear it, Akira. One of the men up in the crow's nest yells, the bay is ahead," as he cups his mouth to help his voice carry. The helmsman nods. You feel this presence near you, and one of these a sailor standing there. He's a boy, probably no more than 16. "Excuse me, sir." And he reaches down and he gently pokes or shakes your shoulder.
Yes, how can I help you?
He points off in the distance and says, the bay is near. Should I go get the others, or would you?
I say yes, go round up the others. Says any may need the or something.
He nods and pads away, his feet splashing across the deck as he makes his way down the stairs below. It's not long after that you guys hear a gentle knock at the door.
Yeah, Mezereck, leaning on his staff, makes his way to the door and opens.
Yeah, you see the young cabin boy. He's sitting there sopping wet. He looks over his shoulder back the way he had come. He points. He's pointing to the stairs, but he says, The bay is in sight."
Yes. Thank you, he says. And Mezereck just looks over his shoulder back at Mir, and gathers his stuff and makes his way back up.
The rain feels cold, Mezereck, as you step out into the rain. And you look off in the distance and you can see this great bay opening up before you. And then as you focus your eyes and squint more, you can see it looks as though maybe like porcupine or something, but as you look closer you see the masts of ships breaking out across the water.
Mezereck even now is he's still just steadying himself on the deck, sort of like just wipes some of this rain from the side of his face, and he begins to cast just softly as this plate mail just covers his body and just like dissipates from his mage armor, and he coughs out just and he said, calls back, "So, are the rest of you almost ready or what?"
You yell down below to your two companions down there. At the same time, Uta, the captain of this ship, his hair thick and dreaded, just soaked with rain, just running across his bare chest, rings of gold and silver and a ring on every finger. And he's up by the helmsman and he yells to you, Mezereck. "I've taken you as far as I dare," he yells across the wind.
Mezereck sort of just waves his hand. I understand. We are grateful. We will take one of the boats and we will go ashore. And he calls two of the sailors that were just on the side. He says, come, help me. We will untie this boat and lower it down. Okay. And he gets busy with them, just lowering down the boat.
You see several of the men up in the rigging, already taking down the sails to slow the progression of the ship. And what are the rest of you doing?
I guess Bjorn would have heard the conversation, so knowing what's the next move, he'd come over to help Mezereck with moving down the small boat.
About time too. Big brawny, and he sort of just hits you like this in his hands. You can see he's just to the side.
Yeah.
Mir will basically just sit back and keep her eye to the horizon, following their lead. Watching.
So is that our plan? We're going away on this tiny ass boat to hunt the giant plague.
It's not that small. It's probably about 18 feet.
It's not like a rowboat.
Mezereck says to you, "Well, do you have a better plan than that?"
Yeah, you at least need some crew to help you row it. At a minimum, it would take eight men to row this boat efficiently.
Okay.
So
I'm assuming they were gonna just sail us, take us so that we can get off from the other side, and then we've kind of organised that they stay for a period of time, I guess.
Well, yeah, you tell me. You guys would have spent this journey with this crew and this captain. What plans, what arrangements have you made with him? How far is he? Had you expected that he would bring you? You're probably a mile from the opening of this bay. You would say you can see the waves, the white caps of the waves as they hit some sort of natural coral reef that helps to protect the bay, the inner bay itself. So you would have a quite a task ahead of you to row to shore. It would be well over maybe closer to 2 miles, you would guess.
Absolutely. I'm guessing Mir and the rest of you guys can tell me different, but I'm guessing that we'd organised that he and also paid him to kind of anchor and dock here for about 3 days, basically. You know, and we're going to be back within that time. Perfect.
So you get the long boat is lowered down. It hits the waves and it kind of rocks along and bumps along the side of this larger ship. So would you take just a minor compliment that 4 men from the crew with you?
I think that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the captain yells out the names of 4 of his crew. Most of the men seem okay with the duty. One looks hesitant, looks to the bay, then looks to the 4 of you before he nods his head and makes his way to the side of the ship. And they drop a net along the side for you all to climb down to get in this boat. And you hear the crank, and the shuffling of metal as the anchor is lowered for the ship. The captain yells to you, Mezereck, before you go over the edge. He says, 3 days, no more.
Yes, of course. We'll be back. Don't worry, he says.
Okay, he nods, but he watches you. Do you all descend down into the smaller boat?
Mir would be looking for any shadows in the water before she gets into the boat, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like this guy's willing to go.
Yeah, you can give me a perception roll.
Let's be perception. Okay. 13 plus 9. 22?
22, yeah. You're fairly confident you see nothing. The water is dark. It's angry as it rolls along due to the storm. But you see nothing.
Okay. There's no gaping maw below the rowboat?
Yeah, you see this large turtle mouth comes up. End of session. Thanks, guys. It was fun.
Okay. Yeah, she'll hop in the boat and cast Water Walk as they're rowing.
Perfect. Yeah, so a couple of the crew had scrambled down and they hold the net so that it doesn't sway as much for you. But I need everyone just to give me just a simple climb, like an athletics roll.
I got a 9.
Okay.
9's good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
How about I say Curious got spider climbing boots on, so I'll just probably just walk straight out the side of it.
Yeah, you just kind of make your way down. It's almost unnerving to maybe the crew as they see you do this. It's not natural, but Bjorn and Mezereck, how did you guys fare?
I got 11.
Yeah, I got 14.
Perfect. So Bjorn, you get tied up a little bit as you go down. Maybe one of your foot slips on the wet netting, but you're able to catch yourself and make your way down. Mir, unfortunately, as you kind of scrambling down this net, there's this rogue wave kind of rolls in and it pulls you and your leg slips down through, and you find yourself like dangling down, looking at the rest of your companions and the 4 crewmen. Before hands reach out to help you and pull you on to the smaller boat. You push away with a couple of the oars, and everyone sets down. Now, is anyone not rowing? Because I'll just add crew based on if you're not intending to row.
Mir's casting, so she wouldn't be rolling.
Perfect. Okay, so would be a 5th crew member. But if the rest of you guys are going to row, then that would be the least you need.
Yeah. Sorry, could you do 6 because Mezereck isn't so good.
Okay, yes, 6. Anybody else? Bjorn, what do you think? You want to just kind of chill and run the tiller? Actually, well, we'll make it 7 because there'll be a guy on the tiller too, steering the boat. Typically, you would put a small mast and sail up, but with the wind, one of the sailors advises against it. Better to just row. So you're casting this spell, Mir. You're going through this ritual that you've probably done countless other times. It's almost rote, requiring almost little to no concentration. And then you feel an intrusion in your mind, a voice. It's low at first, and then it grows in strength and force. How come you can come here?
Just me?
Sorry, go for it.
I don't know. That's what Mir hears.
Did you hear that?
Did we?
What do you mean? Do we hear that? We hear the rain, the water. What are you hearing there?
Mir kind of stands up and looks around. Heard it. Spoke to me. It's near.
And almost an answer, Mir. You hear it again. How come you come and bother me?
Dorian would turn around, look at her like confused, and then look around to the sea and try to see if there was anything he missed.
You see some.
Mir would say, "We've come in supplication to the mighty protector of this bay. We are only." She would kind of like shout into the storm. We are but lowly travelers who seek safe passage across the bay to make our living. We have brought a tribute to the great king that resides here, she would say. Wait for a response.
There's a pause. It grows long. You shouldn't have come.
That's not good. She mutters.
Once you mutter that, Mir, there's like an explosion of water as a school of fish breaks the surface. Maybe 50 or 60 feet off to the left of your boat, of your small dinghy.
Bjorn, like still confused about Mir's how she's acting, but he's been with her on a couple expeditions, so he knows she wouldn't like just get batshit crazy out of nowhere and start talking to herself. So he's kind of nervous, and when he sees the fish like pops out of the water, he kind of like jolts and like half stands up and put his hand on his blade, and he's like scrutinizing the horizon.
Yeah, anybody that looks to the fish that are breaking water can give me a perception roll, please.
I got a 20.
16.
Mezereck is casting, actually. Begins to cast.
Okay. And Bjorn?
I got 23 with the nat 20.
Oh, nat 20. Perfect. So Mir and Bjorn, it's unmistakable. You see a large shadowed form move deep under the surface, driving these fish up, and then it fades away.
I would immediately mention it to the other crew members. Well, maybe just like kind of turn around and try to have a knowing look with like Mezereck and Akira, not to like scare off the other crew members. I mean, they probably have an idea something's going on if Mir's like shouting in the rain, but let's try and keep chaos out of the boat.
Yeah. That's probably a wise thing. You see a couple of the men looking around, probably drawn to the fish themselves, the fish breaking water. You hear a couple of murmurs between them, saying it's unnatural. Fish of that sort do not look. And then one of them just waves a hand away and says, most likely a shark or a sea crocodile. But you can tell by the tone and manner of the man that he's trying to convince himself more than the other men around him. There's kind of this break in the rowing as this happens, and the boat kind of turns a bit, just naturally turning askew to the coast and the bay.
Bjorn would sit back down and say, yeah, it's probably a shark, but let us be careful and let's get back to rowing to get to the shore, boys. And we'll try and get a faster pace going on with the rowing.
Yeah. Yeah, give me an athletics check. Just any one of you can do it with advantage because of everyone working together.
26 on the athletics.
Yeah, Bjorn, you're a natural leader. You guide the men and encourage them. And I think maybe seeing the fish break water gives them a little bit more oomph to each of their strokes as they lean hard into it. You're making good way cutting through the waves. And Mir, again, this voice intrudes your mind. You are a sister of nature, are you not?
I am.
Then
Shouting into the wind.
yeah. I think surprisingly, you hear this in your mind. You hear this almost this low, rolling laugh. Sister, you do not need to yell. You can speak into my mind like I speak into yours.
Or she'd stop yelling then.
It's up to Mir if she wants to do that, but that's what this thing says to you.
She'd still speak out loud so that people can hear what she's saying.
Tell me your purpose. Why do you come? Do you come like the others?
I've come seeking safe passage.
Passage where?
East to name mainland country here that is in that direction.
Give me a deception roll. I'm gonna assume that Mir is able to actually name some land.
Yeah, she would know.
Yes.
She's from like the mainland, so yeah. Jesus. Okay. 1
Oh shit.
in the other direction.
Nice. There's a pause, and you can feel the anger in the voice as it comes back into your mind. Mira, you lie to me. Tell me your purpose.
We've come to see the storied dragon turtle of this bay. It's up to you whether you'll show yourself or not.
There's a laugh. A genuinely a genuine and deep laugh. There is no dragon turtle here. Only me.
What are you?
I am Toba.
So you've heard of Toba.
Toba.
They
is
say that
me.
you're a gigantic turtle.
That is what I am. What are the rest of you doing as Mira? Because she's actually literally having this one-sided conversation, sitting at the bow of this boat, having her ritual somewhat disrupted by whatever is going on. So what are the rest of y'all doing?
Yeah, Kira's just rowing, thinking to himself like, "Oh no, here we go again."
Yeah, she's probably crazy, tucking all those forms she turns into.
Last time I heard somebody talk to himself, he disappeared into the woods.
Oh, jeez.
Since Ian casted Rary's telepathic bond, would we hear what Mir hears?
Yeah, that would almost be like a little tapping the line. So you would probably, so that's 10 minutes to cast ritual.
Yeah, what would have happened is from the time Mia began talking from our point of view to herself. I mean, Mezereck doesn't even see these fish break the water like 60 feet away because as the rain's coming down and he hears Mia do that, he just immediately takes out his steel plates as the rain starts coming down on it, and he begins to cast detect magic. It will take the first 10 minutes. And the next 10 minutes it would take for him to cast Riri's telepathic wand.
So range on detect magic is what? Remind me again.
I'm sorry, one more time.
What was the range on detect magic again?
30. It should be 30, I believe.
Yeah.
30 feet. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you cast that, everybody in your party that possesses magic pings, but nothing else. And you actually haven't completed the second ritual when the last bit of that conversation happens with Mir.
Absolutely.
Right. Mir, again, you hear in your mind, "Do you come for my treasure like others have?"
I mean, at this point, I don't think she's gonna get anywhere lying to this thing. We've come to take measure of you, and if you're hostile, yes, we've come for your treasure.
Mir's got some balls.
There's
Seriously.
another off in the distance, maybe 100 or so feet. There's a gust, much like a whale would make when it breaks water. That breaks. There's something breaks water, and you see fish flying off in many different directions, and then there's that big rippled across the waves as it settles.
How far are we from the actual bay, from the shore?
It's probably been a good 15 minutes, you would guess. So at the pace that you guys are setting, you're about halfway. You're skirting along the edge of this bay, heading in. As you get closer, you can see the true gravity of how many ships have been sunk in this bay. It just littered with them. Mostly towards the outer edge where this coral is, but off in the distance you can see a few others as well. You would guess that at least parts of this bay are not very deep.
Mir would direct the rowers to head towards the coral, knowing that this rowboat can handle like the shallow water, and that would be an advantage for us if we can get there.
Perfect. So what I will need everybody who is rowing and not casting a spell. You actually finish your spell now, Mezereck. And we'll take care of that in a second. But anyone that is rowing and facing backwards can give me a perception roll.
I got 22 on perception.
You see this water just kind of rolling up. Have you ever seen like the prow of a ship when it pushes through the water? You see it coming up to the back of this small boat. And Mezereck and anyone, so who can actually tap in? Is it just you, Mezereck, or is that bond, that telepathic bond?
All of it's actually all of us except for the sailors, not the sailors, but just all of us.
Wise. And you hear Mir and the others as well. I cannot let you take my most prized treasure. And this wave rises up, and you see the dark form within it, Bjorn.
Guys? Fuck. Okay. Let me see if I can...
So is it plan B already?
It's plan B, she says out loud.
How far away is this from us?
You would say, gosh, it's over 100 feet or more. It's hard to say. Being out on the water distances, the mind plays tricks.
Mir would cast Conjure Animals, and she would conjure up a pod of hunter sharks. I have to see how many I can get. They're half CR, so. But that's what she does, and she would have the sharks like push the rowboat and try to get us to go a little faster to get to the reef.
And just so you cast this spell, you're starting to bring in. So do you bring them into being through magic alone, or does it just draw them forth wherever they may be? I'm imagining it must be some sort of magic.
Yeah, I imagine there's kind of like a. You just see like the water, like the waves and foam form into like dark shapes, and then like a fin, 4 fins sprout out of the water, circle around, and then kind of like converge and start pushing the rowboat.
This wave that this thing creates goes, and it actually pushes your boat, rising it up a bit and moving it forward, and then the water settles down. You don't see Toba.
Probably gonna keep going for the reef, right, guys? Yep.
Yes.
The sharks have 40-foot swim speed.
Perfect. So that'll definitely help. You're moving the boat at even a better clip, and the voice approaches your mind. And now, how long does your spell last, Ian?
Okay, so detect magic is 10 minutes, and the telepathic link is going to be 1 hour.
Oh, perfect. So the detect magic is starting to fade. And Mir, in your mind you hear, but the others would hear this as well. Toba is probably unawares. I can offer you treasure if you do for me a favor.
She would respond, "What kind of favor? We're not here simply for a fight."
I do not wish to kill you if I do not need to. But you can do what I cannot.
What is the favor, King Toba?
I need my most valued treasure recovered for me.
What is it?
What it is not important, but it is precious to me. If you recover it, all my other treasures will be yours.
Mezereck says, not mentally, but verbally. Mezereck says, leans forward in the rain towards Mir
And says, where is this treasure?
Where's this treasure?
I can take you there, but I cannot go myself.
We will help you. We don't want to fight if we don't have to, and we would be happy to help you in return for reward. We will warn others to stay away from this place once we've helped you.
There's no response. Several seconds pass. It goes into a minute, then 5. And then this water starts to just up beside you as this probably one of the largest turtles you have ever seen. Its head, bigger than the prow of the ship you came on, breaks the surface of the water, probably about 45 feet away. You see this great turtle, its face scarred and marked with these reddish, not quite runes, but it's almost like these swirls that make these intricate patterns that run along its hide. You see its shell grate as it breaks the surface. It seems to shimmer as the water runs off it to the ocean.
Bjorn would just say, settle down, boys, because I assume the sailors would get scared of that.
Yeah, they are definitely panicking.
Yeah.
All thoughts of, there's probably half of them are like, all right, and the other ones aren't doing anything, so the ship's just kind of like listing off to the side.
Yeah, so Bjorn would say, settle down, boys, and then focus on rowing. Our druid's got us covered.
Now she would shout again. King Toba, we accept your offer. Lead us to your treasure and we will recover it.
Toba doesn't say anything but nods its head. And it slowly swims towards the boat and it turns it sideways and then it says, "Climb on my shell."
She'd nod and hop on the shell. Everybody has water breathing. They don't have water walk though, since the ritual got interrupted.
And it would say, "Are you able to hold your breath?"
Yes, I've made sure of it.
Are we all going?
That's up to you. I know Mir said she was going to get onto the shell.
Yeah,
She would
here, we'll
explain
climb
what the situation is to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Mezereck tries to hold on to these crystal or crustaceans on the side, and you see he's having a hard time trying to climb up onto the side of the back of this thing, but he tries all the same, joining Mir.
Perfect.
Bjorn would tell the sailors to head to shore and tell them that they would see them there soon enough. Then he turned around to look at the turtle and holding his weapon in his arm and just kind of like nodding and thinking like this is such a bad idea, but then he'll just shrug and jump on anyway.
Akira, what do you do?
Oh, you must not heard me. I'm sorry. I said, yeah, I'll climb on the back to sit down.
Perfect. You guys have all climbed upon this turtle shell. It's enormous, larger than most buildings you have seen. And you would see, Bjorn, as you scamper across the shell, the shining is not because of any gems or anything, but you see that shells, the inner parts of shells have been embedded along the course of this thing's shell, which, when catching the light, give it almost this refractive ability. It makes sitting very difficult because it's rough and at some points sharp. But once you guys are aboard, Toba does not wait and immediately submerges. And you are amazed at actually the speed that something so large can move as it kind of starts to swim through the ocean, and it just kind of pushes you back onto the shell, and it weaves its way through these damaged ships. Is there anything you guys would be doing on the journey? If not, I'll continue.
Using the telepathic wand, Bjorn would ask the rest of the party, "What the fuck is the plan? Are we helping it out and leaving afterwards, or like, do you have something in particular in mind?"
I suggest we help it. It promised all of its other treasures in return for its most prized, which it has lost, and that we need to get it. I think that's a good deal.
Okay.
As long as all of this other treasure is not 2 gold pieces.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the only thing Mezereck's doing as we're like just rushing through this underwater is he's just trying to, as best as possible, to get find better grips. I mean, he's cut parts of his hand and the sides of his legs, and part of his garments are like torn against this the jagged shell edges and stuff. So he's just trying to get a good grip as best as possible.
Yeah, you are. The water pressing against you is almost enough to hold you in place. The turtle does not stop. It does not stop until it passes past many of these ships, past this coral reef, and finally it goes deep into this dark portion of the bay. Anyone that does not have dark vision, it becomes harder and harder to see, until finally Toba stops with a great, enormous clawed hand. It points and it says so that you all hear, "There, through there is my treasure, but it is guarded."
Guarded by what?
Its head kind of turns, and you can see its great eye looking at you, Akira. Guarded by something evil.
How far are we from that?
From the actual entrance is this, you see this dark opening of a sea tunnel, probably about 60 or 70 feet.
Okay. So unless you guys disagree, Bjorn would push himself away from the shell and start swimming towards the entrance. And on the way there, I'll use my amulet to cast daylight on whatever piece of garment I have, so I can see something, because I do not have night vision.
Yeah, neither do I. As Bjorn is swimming, Mia knows it's gonna take him a little while to get there, so she asks before she hops on one of her hunter sharks. Surely you could give us a little more detail about what actually guards your treasure. You value it and want it back, right? The more information we have, the more likely we are to get your treasure.
Toba nods its head. It is evil and it makes me do things. And it swings its head around, looking at the wrecked ships. It forces me to do this. Threatens my treasure. They say they would not give it back if I do not listen.
Have you ever seen it?
The evil?
Yes.
Yes, there are 3 of them.
What do they look like?
It kind of scoffs in your mind. They are ugly like you.
Male or female?
You have to be more detailed than that.
Yeah, after it says that,
Okay.
It says,
3 of them.
I think they are sisters.
I just want to mention, when they would start talking, Bjorn would wait on swimming over there.
Okay.
Okay.
So would Mir have any idea what hags are? She's a druid. She spends a lot of time in the wild, so I figure she.
You could definitely give me a roll on that. I think it'd probably be nature.
We've experienced them before, actually.
Oh right.
Yeah.
We fought a sea hag at one point.
Okay, yeah.
But also Nanny Poo Poo as well.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so at that point, Mir.
So yeah, I think without a roll, Mir, you would know. As Toba describes this is what you think. It may be a sea hag. Worse still, you think that maybe this is a coven of hags. When 3 are mentioned.
This
Okay.
is bad.
So Mir kind of like places her hand on the turtle shell and like kind of pats it. We'll get your treasures back. Don't worry. Because she's a druid and this is a giant fucking turtle and he isn't all mean, so
Yeah.
she's totally down to help him. And she would hop on a hunter shark, and there's 4 of them, so we can all grab one, and they have a 40-foot swim speed.
Perfect.
I got 30 foot, and I'm a bit in front, so I'll just swim my way there.
Okay.
Yep. So you don't, I don't know if you look back or not, but you see Toba just watches as you guys make your way into this tunnel. It is dark, pitch black. Which one, you would cast light, however, so that does afford you some, you are able to see around you. You just see it is littered with bones and other debris that has just been left in the opening of this cave. And as you make your way in, many of you led by these sharks, you see more evidence of this. And then who's in the lead?
I'll take point.
Okay, Akira, you're the first one. Your shark stops swimming, and as you move forward, your head breaks surface of the water, and you're looking into this darkened tunnel.
I have dark vision, so.
Yeah, so it's dim. You can see in that grayscale. You see nothing. You see more littered bones and debris, but nothing else. Off in the distance, well, actually, I should say, off in the distance, you do see this very faint glow.
I don't see like no shadows or anything.
So what did you say? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said I don't see no shadows or anything.
No, you don't see anything. You hear the dripping of water. The walls of this cavern are just moist. There's a foul smell of brine and refuse, like excrement and decay.
Okay, so I am right. Or so if I'm right, then it's like a big cavern.
Yeah, it's a
like,
big cavern. It's
like
very rough. It's probably about roughly 10 to 12 feet high and about as wide. But the floor of this cavern itself is not even. It's very broken. Moving across it would be difficult terrain, so your movement would be half. Yes, you'd have to pick your way across rocks and whatnot.
Okay, ease my way out of water.
Mm-hmm.
I would just wait for the other guys to follow suit before I decide what we do.
Yeah. Mir would keep behind Bjorn in his daylight because she can't see very well either.
Yep. So you'll make your way out of the water into the drier part of the tunnel. The order is Akira. What is the? I mean, you guys could walk two abreast easily enough, but is there a certain order you guys set?
Yeah, Mezereck walks beside the sea elf, just taking light, obviously, from because I think your weapon has light on it also, or not, or is it only the light?
My daylight has 60-foot radius, so and then
Yes,
like dim light to 30 foot, I think.
If you have daylight and it goes 60, is probably the dim is probably another 60.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you light up, I mean, your daylight would easily light up the better portion of this tunnel. And you can see all the way down to where it widens out into a larger cavern. This is the light. This is where you saw the faint light, Akira.
Can we see what's there now? Perception.
I'm sorry, didn't hear that. What?
I said, can we see what's there now if I roll perception?
Yeah, you could definitely give me a perception roll, but what you see is the tunnel itself opens up to a larger cavern. You can see that there is some sort of light there beyond the light that Bjorn offers. But a perception roll is needed to see anything more.
Are we hearing anything besides the drip drop of the water?
Give me a perception roll.
All right, I got a 21 on mine.
21.
Not worth mentioning.
Okay. It makes sense. Akira's a little bit further ahead, and you would hear it first. There's this kind of droning hum that can be heard echoing in the cavern.
Mezereck's sort of like trying to be as quiet as possible, using stealth if possible. But as he's like just slipping a bit with this uneven floor and just like making his way with his staff, he says mentally to all his companions,
This is not good. We have come across hags before. They're very powerful.
The glaive slashed to their throat will stop that power from coming out.
If I remember correctly,
he says, and
there was some object they possessed that it would be best to take from them and destroy.
how far away are we now from this light that we're walking towards?
So you guys can give anyone that wants to stealth can give me a stealth roll. You would actually have to go fairly slow. The difficult terrain already has cut your movement to half if you wanted to stealth. So you would be moving at quarter your speed, but there is no real urgency, I guess. So you would just take your time.
16.
Mir will cast Conjure Water Elemental while we're kind of like chilling out.
Okay.
Carrie got 22 on stealth.
I got 18.
Got a 15.
Yeah, you move fairly quietly along this rough cavern floor until you're just short of the entrance to this cavern. It's this great, vast cavern. You see great, large, like, they're not really braziers, but they're rough. They're formed by stone, but something is burning in these two things up on this small rise that's probably about 15 or so feet high. There's a lower rise, and on either side of this cavern, which is probably about 60 foot across, and the cavern roof itself is probably 40 to 50 feet. You can see these stairs or these stairways have been cut into the stone that lead up to this rise where these things burn. You see three forms at the top up there. They seem to be working and talking amongst themselves around this great stone cauldron. It looks cold. There's no fire burning beneath it, but they stare intently inside it. They don't seem to have noticed you.
I would cover my amulet so that the light doesn't brighten the area anymore. Is it like pitch black or
no? The light, it's dim where you are, but you notice that there are torches that have been lit throughout this cavern. It gives light enough to see.
Yeah, I'll do that to try and not get noticed.
Yeah, and as you move a little bit closer, you see other forms moving on the lower floor of this cavern, and up on the landings of the two side platforms.
So in total, because I imagine now that we come to this thing and Bjorn like outs his light so that we can't be our position be given away, and we sort of like just crouch down and just like observe, just like what we can see, just how many images that we can see moving, and just using perception to just take in what is. And as we're doing that, Mezereck puts his hand inside his blue robes and he takes out a potion and just uncorks it and just raw put it to his mouth one at a time.
Okay. Yeah, these forms seem to be just milling about with no real purpose. You count 3, 4, 6 at least.
On top of the 3.
Nope. You see 4 milling about on the lower level. Those of you that are in roll 20 would see. So there is a on the left. There's like a dais that looks like they're. You're not quite certain how you would get to that, but then the other you see on the right you see another where a rough set of cut stairs lead up to it, and that dais seems to lead to the upper level, or that landing. I'm sorry, not dais.
Okay. Samir would telepathically ask, so what's the plan? Seems like what they're looking at, it might be what we're after.
What they're looking at might be us.
Mezereck says.
I would say that starting the fight away from them sounds like a bad idea to me. I have fought caster from afar before, and it didn't end well.
How high is the ceiling above us?
Yeah, it's about 35, 40 feet at its highest point.
Lionel, So my water elemental, it can go into water form. Would I be able to have it like creep along the ceiling, like just above the 3 figures near the brazier,
Yep.
Yeah, that's what Kira was just thinking
and
about.
kind of like get it set up so that like when shit pops off, it can like drop down and hit them all.
Yeah. You just have to make a stealth roll for it.
Okay. Even if it's like in water form and it's like moving around like that.
Well, I'll give you advantage because.
Cool. All right. I'm just gaming the system, Lionel.
Yeah. No. That's. You
Gaming
gotta
the system.
ask, or else you're.
Stealth. I think it's just straight +2. So 19.
Yep. So it starts to kind of make its way along the ceiling. I imagine you're slowly moving it towards the upper landing.
Yeah, it's almost like a really long leak, like a stream, just like going along the ceiling, like a water snake.
Yeah. Perfect.
I got a question about the map. So just to be sure, we would be at the bottom part.
Yeah, you would be down here.
Okay, and then the 2 fires are where the hags would be.
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
And then
actually,
down
let
there
me.
would be the 4 forms that we are seeing.
Yeah, hold on.
So how do I join you guys on Roll20? I'm in now, but where is your game?
Did you use the link that I sent in the chat? Click on the link and it will link you to the game. So do you see them now?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can see him.
And how far from us is that?
That's probably. Let me see. Do not go by the squares on the map because they are not. It's probably about 65, 70 feet.
Okay, so
as the arrow flies.
Our next option, Bjorn would suggest that is that I could use my handy cape and not. Yeah,
yeah, your handy cape. I know what that cape is.
Yeah, and I can bring somebody along with me, and we can teleport to the hag, and then the other 2 people would basically fight the people on the first floor, and then get to us and help us if everything goes well.
Yeah, we can do that. Did we get a good look at like what the other figures are?
Yeah, if you want to zoom in on them, that is what they look like roughly.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, they look humanoid, but there's something not right with them. You see that they're encrusted with, like some have urchins attached to their flesh, where hands and legs once were. You see tentacles or twisted. If you've ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean, that's what these guys look like. They are like what's the pirate in that movie? Can't remember his name. Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones crew is what these guys look like. They got like starfish on them. They have shells and whatnot, barnacles all over them. But they were human once, you would guess, or humanoid.
Okay.
So, what?
Okay, how many of them are there here?
Because I see 3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So where would you all be in this tunnel?
Oh.
I got some tokens. They're not really your characters, but I just made 4 quick tokens just to.
I guess right around the corner to try and get a look without being seen.
Okay. So this corner over here.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So
Are we killing these hags or not?
Yeah, we are.
So let's go. Do you want to go over it one more time? What the plan is?
The plan is the elemental drops down on them, and Bjorn like teleports to them with his cape.
Okay.
And
To the
then-
hags.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is Akira gonna do? Is he gonna try to sneak over there and do the same thing as the elemental?
I mean, I can grab somebody along with my teleport if somebody's willing to come.
Yeah, Kira was gonna work his way over there. The first, before he does anything, he reaches inside his cloak. And he pulls out 2 beads. The first one he's going to use to cast Planter Alley, and I'm going to call forth another water element.
Another one? Okay.
And the second bead I'm going to cast Bless on me, Mezereck, and Mir.
All right, perfect. Are you required to concentrate for the bless? I don't know. Does it use concentration?
No, it's just like a instant thing. As far as I know. I mean, you can look it up
Bless?
if you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's part of the beads.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't actually have concentration.
So Akira, like, are you guys going U3, or does somebody wants to come with me? Like, Mezereck doesn't want to, and that's fine. But does Mir or Akira wants to come with?
Yeah. You can take Mezereck, but Mezereck says like, of course we're talking mentally, telepathically. Mezereck says I need like 12 seconds before we do what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Cool. Come down.
Excellent. Cool. And he drinks this the first thing he does, the potion that's in his hand, he drinks that, which is invisibility. That's the first thing. And then second,
You're just gonna come with me, and then you're gonna chill in the corner to invisible while I get ready.
and then he takes out these marbles, and he begins to cast on these marbles as they sort of just like levitate in front of his hand, and that's it.
Perfect.
All right, so what Carrie wants to do is I also want to use my ring to cast jump. I'm going to use that in comparison with my spider climb to kind of like jump on the ceiling and move to where the water elemental is above the hags.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to need everybody to at least give me one more stealth roll.
Yep.
Okay.
As you guys are doing all this activity.
22.
Yeah.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 15.
Well, you're invisible, right, Mezereck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to do a stealth roll.
I also down the potion of speed.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 14.
That doubles your movement. Does that give you? Is it like haste?
Yeah, it gives me haste basically.
Yeah. Cool. And what did you get, Mir?
14.
Okay. So something happens. I don't know. I'll leave it to you guys to decide what happens. But one of the hags up on this landing turns and sees you, and she screams out, getting the attention of her sisters as she points with a twisted, bony finger.
As she realizes we're here, the elemental drops down on him like a drop bear or whatever, you know?
Yeah, perfect. Let's roll initiative.
All right. You just hear, shit! No! That's the signal! All right.
I got 19.
Elemental too.
Seeing as the hags started screaming, can I enter my rage before my turn?
Well, let's see where you fall in the initiative.
Yeah, 1, I got 23, and for 2, where would I be? Would I actually have been able to move up to where he was, or?
Yeah, you would be. I think, Akira, you had said that you were going to start making your way across.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you definitely would do that. You're actually not even seen
Okay.
The attention is actually drawn to Bjorn and Mir at the mouth of this cave.
Okay.
So I will actually move you. Which direction did you want to go? Are you going beeline towards the landing? Or are you going to the left or to the right?
I was gonna move beeline straightest shot possible.
Perfect. So you're so as you look down at this landing, there's probably this moment where you pause because you notice now as you draw closer that it's not just a landing, but there's actually a gaping hole that falls down into darkness. It's probably about 15 feet wide that separates this landing from the lower portion of this cavern. You're just at that lip as you're kind of scurrying across the ceiling. So we got
How high up was the ceiling again?
35, 40 feet.
Oh, good. So I can use my flying form in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing, I was gonna piggyback off your water elemental dance. I ain't had a chance to look up anything. What kind of damage and
Yeah, I'm using a PDF right now. Basically, it's +7 to hit, and when it hits, it does 2d8 plus 4, and it can make 2 of those attacks. It could also do like an AoE attack.
okay, what kind of initiative is it? Just straight up initiative, or does it have any pluses?
No, it's just a straight initiative, or whatever you get for a normal initiative. Yeah.
Okay.
The elemental gets +2 dex for initiative.
+2 ticks. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Unless you disagree, since they haven't seen Ian and Thomas, I would suggest grabbing you along with me, Mir. Since we look like we're the only two in that cavern, and if I grab a invisible buddy, it might be weird. But
yeah.
Mir would prefer not to get super into the combat just because she has to concentrate on the elemental.
Okay.
Right.
Because if she loses control, that might make things
the only
complicated.
the 2 initiatives that I need is Akira's and I need Bjorn's.
Mine was 23, and the water element I summoned was 18.
Okay.
I have 19.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have the water elementals go on the same initiative. It'll be easier that way.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Thomas,
what was yours, Bjorn?
19.
19. Okay.
You can Google the stats for the elemental. It'll be on Roll20.
All right. So we
okay,
have Akira. You're first up. You're about probably about 15 feet from the lip of the of this landing, and it's probably about 15-ish or so, 15, 20 feet below you.
All right. I just finished moving my way across to where the eggs are.
All right, cool. So you're over there. Are you doing anything else?
Maybe just draw my swords.
Perfect. So give me another stealth roll as you draw your sword. See if that action draws any attention.
I have 23.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to. And now it is the water elementals.
All right. Mine will drop down from the ceiling and use its whelm ability to try to hit as many hags as it can.
Yeah. How big of an area can it get with that?
Each creature in the elemental space. So it's a large creature.
Yeah.
So it'd be a 10 by 10 space.
Okay. You can get one of them. You wouldn't be able to get all of them, or 2 of them. It'd be close. One would be just outside of your elemental.
Okay.
So which one do you want to get? The Olga, Ursula, or Ethel?
Creature in the elemental space must make failure. Hold on. Instead of that, I think I'm actually going to just have it attack twice since it can't hit more than one.
Okay.
It's just going to attack twice. So it'll attack one.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever the closest one is that like pointed mirror out, it'll focus on that one.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Oh, Jesus, a crit. Okay.
Nice.
So one crit and then 13 plus what is it? 7. So crit and a 20.
So what's the damage all up?
A dice. Oh. Okay, 6, 9 plus 4. So 13 on the first one, and then 14 on the second one. On the same hag.
Okay. Yeah. It's surprised as this water elemental drops.
Oh,
behind it and just
crit.
buffets it.
So I gotta add more. Sorry.
Okay. It's even more surprised.
An additional 11 on the crit.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. You nearly it bloodies this this hag in this fury of aquine blows. All right. Okay. Next is the other water elemental, Akira.
All right, I'll just ask it to move over where I'm at.
Okay, so it moves up. It's kind of doing the same thing that Mir's did. And Bjorn, it's your turn.
Okay. So as soon as they would have screamed out, I would want Bjorn to enter his rage. So can I do that before my turn, or should I do that in part of my turn?
Oh, you could do it now. It's a bonus action, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do that first. And then seeing both water elementals, and also since the hags hasn't seen Mezereck yet, Bjorn will just say, better luck next time, old man. And then he's just gonna like charge forward and then use his Cape of the Mountebank to teleport in front of the hags.
Okay.
And then since I'm hasted, that would be my first action, and then I would proceed to attack one.
Perfect.
I am going to swing recklessly and using my Weapon Master feat. Great Weapon Master.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's 21 to hit.
21? Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okay. Wait a second. So that is 30 damage.
Oh, wow.
Then I'll swing again. 18 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So that is 26 damage.
Oh, my gosh.
And since I used my bonus action, that's going to be it for my turn.
Okay. Well, that hag is well bloodied and nearly slain at under Bjorn's onslaught. Awesome. Mir, you are up.
Okay, let's see, what should I do? Mir is gonna use a, I'm gonna get more damage out here. She's gonna cast, Hold Person
Mm-hmm.
Or no, she won't do that because she wants to hold concentration on the elemental. Don't do that. That'd be bad. Okay. She will cast Ice Knife on the hag that she injured,
Okay.
and then she's going to wild shape into an Ankylosaurus
Oh,
if there's enough space. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
kind of like
I think there would be.
throws it like a javelin, and tries to hit her, and hits her with a 26.
Yep.
And then anybody within 5 feet of this hag needs to make a dex save, including.
Yeah, I think Bjorn's
elemental.
just outside of it. So. But your water elemental would have to make one.
Okay, how do I do this? So many spells, dude. Oh my god. Druids are so complicated. Okay. So a hit. So that's gonna be a D10, and then the hag needs to make a save, a dex save as well.
Dex save.
Takes 7 ice damage, or piercing damage,
Yeah, and that's a fail.
and then it takes. It takes 8 cold damage.
Okay.
And then she wild shapes into Ankylosaurus. She like javelin throws this ice knife at it, hitting it, and it just like explodes, sending ice shrapnel all over the place. The elemental rolls a 17 and does pass the save, so it doesn't take any cold damage.
Okay, perfect.
And like as she throws the ice knife, she just like grows exponentially into this huge creature, armored with bone and with like this
Ankylosaurus, is that the one with the clubbed tail?
yeah.
Ah, perfect. Yes. Awesome. So
And,
you would probably
that's-
have to move into the chamber to do that because you would become
Yep.
larger.
Yeah, she'll move into the chamber and kind of like present herself as a target.
Yep. Perfect. And a target she would be. And let me see. So after Mir, it is the hag's turn. They two are almost slain in this initial assault from you heroes of. But let me see. The first thing that is going to happen is I'm going to need you, Bjorn, to make a wisdom saving throw as the hag in front of you stares at you in her ugly and hideous form.
I got 18.
Okay, yeah. You do not. You're repulsed by her hideous visage, but you are not frightened by it. The other one, the one by your elemental mirror. Let me see. What would she do? Yeah. The elemental's behind her, so she's gonna disengage from your elemental and starts to run down here. Actually, she won't disengage. Why don't you take a attack of opportunity with your elemental mirror?
Is it 10 feet from me? So I got reach with my glaive.
Yeah, you probably could reach.
Okay, what is this? 17.
Yep, that'll hit.
I got 18 as well.
Yeah, that's a hit as well.
14 damage.
Okay. Very bloody.
I got 9. 9 damage.
Okay. Yeah, she looks worse than she looked before, which is saying a lot because these things are hideous. So yeah, she gets down there, and once she does, she starts to chant, and I need you, Bjorn, to make another wisdom save.
I'm rolling pretty well. 17.
Just not enough.
Are
So
you for real?
yeah.
Wait.
Um,
I got
these
a
So you guys have fought sea hags before, you had said. Something is different with these ones. You sense it, those that do magic. There's something about them, maybe twisted by the spell plague, maybe. So what is Bjorn's worst fear?
Just a sec. If I fail a saving throw, I can re-roll it.
Okay.
It's from my barbarian skill. I'll try it again.
Yeah, he's like a zealot or something, right?
Yeah, but man, that I can't get that. It's pretty fucking high, man. So I rolled lower, but I got the lucky feat. So can I roll again?
I don't think so, because I think you get like one reroll, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
but-
I don't know exactly how that ability works that you have, man.
I'm not
So-
sure, but
It's basically like Indomitable. for
Right.
fight.
So it doesn't work off the same mechanic as Lucky, so I would say Lucky could be used.
could.
Yeah, could be.
Okay, so I'll try and roll again. Nah, I'm not getting
Right.
there. I got -1 to my.
Bjorn, tell us your worst nightmare, because that what manifests itself on you right now.
I would say that his worst nightmare is like seeing the friends he has made on Chult like rise back from the dead and like trying to get at him. So like probably just walking through the cavern walls, you can see like
Yeah.
I don't actually remember his name, but it was like a turtle fighter that died a while ago, and then
Haroon.
yeah, Haroon. There you go. Haroon like walking towards him, like being zombie-like, and definitely Ian's last character there, like all rotted, and but he can definitely recognize them.
Yeah. Not only that, they come through this wall after you. They kind of just chanting your name, but they're reaching and pulling at you. You're going to take 4d10 psychic damage. You're going to take 32 points of psychic damage as the sphere manifests in front of you. You guys, well, actually, you would definitely see it, Akira. You just see him screaming and pulling away at nothing, the air around him. Still his glaive in his hand, but he swings it and pushes, not into a kill, but to like push them back. And so Bjorn is pulling away at this. And the last sea hag,
32 damage, he said.
yeah, 32 psychic damage. And let me see. What's this other one? This one here, not seeing Akira, moves up. Probably to there. And I need you to make a saving throw, Mir. This would be probably an easy one for you. I believe it is a wisdom save. Let me double check.
Yeah, flat 18 plus.
Yeah, you're gonna make it.
So 26.
You feel magic starting to warp and pull itself around you. You feel your form starting to be shifted, but then you are able to fight it off. Perfect. And then it would be Mez.
So Mezereck, seeing Mir just transform into this huge kind of creature, just tries to slip past without getting like smashed by this huge tail, and moves left. How far can I get with the movement of 30?
You can go 30. Yeah. So let me see. Which way did you want to go?
I wanted to. His plan was to go left.
Okay.
Go in, turn it, go left.
Yep. Like there?
Yeah, fantastic. So when he gets, as he's making his way there, he's just trying to like see the situation. And his last thing that he does is he casts mirror image. Even though he is invisible, he casts mirror image.
So these invisible mirror images of yourself appear, but that no one can see.
Absolutely. So like this, and then the last thing he does is with his bonus action is just to keep the concentration of these hovering marbles above his hand. That's it. It's done.
Perfect. And that's your end of your turn. Perfect. Now the sea spawn move into action. One is going to shoot a spike at you, Mir. This quill that is embedded in its flesh flicks an arm, and as it does so, it fires out at you. 12, does that hit you? As in
12 is a miss.
Okay. It hits your hard hide and bounces harmlessly off you, and then it continues to move in. And it will take an unarmed strike on you. A 9 is a miss, and a 7 is a miss. It just beats on you, and the other two that move up will do the same thing. Shoot, that was... They're both going to try to hit you.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that's a hit.
There we go. 4 bludgeoning damage as the last one hits you. One has a tentacle that it tries to wrap around your head, but it realizes that it is too big to actually restrain you, but it is able to crush. It does about 4 bludgeoning damage. It wraps a tentacle around your the head of your Ankylosaurus, and the other one tries to bite you, and that again is useless. This spawn here starts to move its way over to Bjorn, and this one disappears from sight. Okay, I believe we are back at the top of the order. Akira.
Okay. So what I want to do is
Oh shoot, dude.
I know. What?
We just lost Thomas, and it moved everybody around on the overlays.
Oh, no.
You are not Mir. You are now Bjorn. Actually, Ian is still in the right spot. But you're Akira now. Charles and Thomas is Mir. All right, so we'll give his. Are you there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's just the video that dropped.
Oh, you dropped the video. Okay. Well, we'll just keep playing. We don't have a lot of time left, anyways. So we'll just keep playing. I just won't call you guys by the right names. So anyways, Akira, you're up. This hag runs below you, not seeming to be aware of you. Are you there,
Thomas?
Thomas, you there?
You're muted, probably. Or not there.
All right. Let's go with the water elementals, Dan. I'm just looking at time. We don't have a lot of time left. You guys got to run to another game, so we'll.
So the elementals, are the hags close together or anything like that?
Well, there's Bjorn, and there's this one of these sea spawn has closed in to attack Bjorn. And so no, they're actually further apart now than they were.
Okay. Let me see how fast these guys are. Okay, so it wouldn't be able to get over to all the sea spawn in 30 foot of movement.
It would be just short. It would probably Dan. It would probably. I don't have a token, but it probably gets right about here.
Okay.
Are you gonna move it across the ceiling like you did before?
Yeah, I was gonna bring it over.
Oh no, I couldn't get across the ceiling because we'd have to get up to it to do so. But if you go the way off to its left, it would probably get right about here.
Okay, and then it has how much reach does it have here? 5 foot reach, so it can't reach him. Okay, it'll just focus on the most injured hag still.
Okay, so that would probably be the one with Bjorn.
Okay, so it'll attack
actually
that
fairly
one.
close to it. It's right here, so it'd just move over like 5 feet and be able to. Yeah,
I'll take that one. With a 22 and then a 16.
Yeah. It just describe how it kills this hag. Poor Ursula.
Does the first one do it?
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right, so it basically just like oh my god. It trips it up and like the hag falls and like struggles to get up, and you just see like the one of its fists like swirl and grow large, and then it smashes its head like a watermelon, turning pink, and then it will go after the other hag.
Gray, brackish explosion of brain, and he's gonna go towards the other one, Olga.
Yeah, and it'll use that second attack. 16.
So I'm just going to interrupt your second attack because I'm going to let Akira go because he would have actually acted just a split second ahead of the water elemental. So Akira, what are you going to do?
Alright, yeah, I'm back. Okay, so what I was saying is I'm gonna like flick my wrist and get my like source of light off, and just as I do that, I'm gonna like jump down towards the nearest sea hag towards me. That'd be sneak attack, right? Since it still don't see me.
Yeah, it doesn't know you're there.
Okay, let me see here. Where's my? Where'd he go? Ah, there he is. Okay, so I got 20 to hit and 21 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, they both hit. Well, give me the damage. It's gonna be ugly, I think. Poor Olga.
All right.
You need a better perception, Olga.
Yeah. Do they take fire damage, right? Like they don't have fire resistance?
They do not have fire resistance.
Okay, yes, sweet. It's 2-2. Alright, I only get sneak attack on one hit, right?
Yeah, your first hit, yep.
Alright. That would be 7, 13, 16,
22, 27, 29.
Oh, he's got to break out the pencil and do the math. It's gonna.
Well, we got 1 die 8.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Let's see, 6, 12,
Wait until it's
15.
my go.
Yeah, he's just doing the normal damage. He hasn't even done the sneak yet.
Yeah, 44 damage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you basically bloody this hag. It just screeches out of terror as you surprise her.
All right.
And you hit with the other one. Can you give me the offhand damage?
That was both of them together.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. Are you doing anything else?
I guess it's like bonus action. I like disengage and step back.
Okay.
Here come to me.
How far do you want to step back?
I don't know. As far as I can step back on the ledge.
Okay.
I'm not sure distance of it.
Perfect.
Maybe
Yeah, I just
10
need you-
feet, 10,
Yep.
15 feet if they'll let me.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
And let me see. Water elemental, second attack.
All right. So the second one that hit, it's gonna use it on the one that ran away from Bjorn and cast a spell on him. It does 10 damage on her.
Okay.
And then I think it's the
She, like her sisters, is not looking good.
and I rolled a crit on the concentration check from the damage I took earlier.
Oh, from that 4 points of
Yep.
damage.
And then I think that's just Thomas's elemental as well.
Cool. All right. So Bjorn, unfortunately, you're gonna take some more damage, but you're gonna be able to make another save. Wisdom save, please.
Save first.
Excuse me.
Rolling the save first.
Yeah. So you're gonna take another 21.
I'm gonna use another one of my luck dice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lionel, if that's concentration and that hag is using it, it needs to make a save since it got hit.
No, it's a different hag. It's the
Ah,
hag.
damn you.
Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna take another 21 psychic damage as these things continue to assail you.
Yeah. Can I still act or no?
Nope, that is your turn. You are just horrified by these things around you. Mir, you're up. You have these 3 sea spawn.
And there's the second elemental.
Oh shoot, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Sorry, Akira. You have the second elemental.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was waiting. Okay, and that was.
Can we please kill that hag?
Yeah, focus on the hag.
Yeah,
Focus on the one
that
that's-
elemental is really close to this hag, if I remember correctly.
Close.
I'll
Okay.
focus on one, you focus on the other one.
I got 18 to hit,
Yeah.
and for the second one would be 23 to hit.
Yeah, they both hit.
What? 2 die 8 plus 4. I'm a pencil. 4, 8, 16, 20. That was easy. 20 plus 4 would be 8. So 28 altogether.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Right. How do you end this hag? As with the water elemental is pretty deadly to these hags.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
That's 2 hags killed by 2 water elementals. But tell us how it happens, Kira.
Well, I guess water elements not really have much form anyway. All you see is just like squiggly like arms, just like welling out, smack her like twice and like spin her around, and she just falls down, maybe melting like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, and she kind of rolls and falls down towards that pit.
So would that have been before my turn?
No, this is the hag over here that actually cast that spell on you.
Damn it.
Okay. So that was the elementals. So then it's Mir's turn. Mir is
Mir.
gonna hit that lead spawn close to the pit.
Yep.
Gonna try to hit him and knock him back too, hopefully. Okay, so monster does +7. Okay. So 15.
15 will hit.
All right, cool. And it has to make a strength save.
Strength save. Okay, that's might be all right. 16.
It passes and doesn't get knocked back, but still takes damage. Alright. Fuck. Okay. 6, 11, 17, 21 plus 4. So 25 damage on this one closest to the pit.
Did you hit it with that tail thing that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
so
like
it just winds
you just hear
up.
bones break and it's just twisted and pushed in. This thing that already looks pretty grotesque anyways looks even more so. Perfect. Anything else?
That's all she can do.
Perfect. Perfect. That would bring up the hags. There's only one left. She's just screams in this. Anyone that would understand Aquan, anyone else, it would just sound like mad rushing water. So nobody understands Aquan, so we'll just leave it as...
Kira understands it.
Oh yeah, that's right. So she just screams, "You've killed my sisters!" And she continues to move down this way. And there is a stroke of lightning that comes from her twisted finger. I need Akira to make a dex save, please, as a stroke of lightning.
21.
Yeah, you're gonna make it. So you're gonna take half damage from lightning. So that's 68.
68.
No, 6d8. Or is it
Oh,
8? No, it's
okay.
8d6. Sorry, 8d6. Right, 8d6. You are wow. My damage is on point. My roll's not so much. That's 38 cut in half, so that would be 19 points of lightning damage. But you actually don't you have an ability that lets you to take less as a thief? Rogue?
I don't know if I missed it or I thought I did, but I was looking through my things. I ain't seen nothing.
Well, you can look, and if it is, so you can just do the 19 damage now, and if not,
You can use a reaction to make a successful dex save do no damage instead of half, basically.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you, Dan.
Yep. So if he succeeded, no damage.
Yeah, so he succeeded. So you actually take no damage. So this lightning bolt arcs above you. Bjorn, I need you to make this save at disadvantage because you are fighting off these demons.
If I have a danger sense with
Yep.
that.
Yeah, you would sense, like the hairs would come up, so you would have this sense just so you get advantage. So you would actually be a straight up roll, I guess.
Okay. That's 13 total.
Yeah, that is not enough, unfortunately. Close. So you will take 38 lightning damage as this just slams into you.
This is starting to hurt, man.
And this hag continues to make its way down the ragged stairs. And that's the end of her turn. Mez, it's your turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Mezereck. What's the distance between Mezereck and her, Ethel?
Probably just over 30 feet. Is it 30 to 40 feet?
Over 30. Oh, wow. Okay, so Mezereck is basically gonna, he's gonna move He wants to be 10 feet away from the creatures that are attacking Mir.
Mir, yeah.
And what he does is his movement. Sorry, guys. His movement. He like just pushing against his staff. He sort of just like leaves the floor as he like flies to that point, maybe like 20 feet up in the air.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah.
He take his action is to takes his thumb and his finger, and his thumb is towards the hag, and his finger is towards one of the creatures that are attacking Mir, and he just sort of like it's like this, and he says "Score," and he tries to do hold monster. He tries to do, which is a wisdom 17.
All right, let's see what we can get. These things are not very wise. 2.
Wow.
It is held fast. Is there a certain one that you were aiming for?
So I was just thinking, okay, the center C one, that's one because he uses a split.
Oh, okay.
Split. So the other one is for Ethel. One is for Ethel. One is for one of these creatures.
Okay. Get Ethel. Wisdom save.
Yeah.
DC 17.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is held fast, but she is able to resist it, and that brings her attention to you. Are you still invisible?
No. Now, as he does that, her attention comes to me as I become visible, and she sees that there's like 4 identical images like floating 20 foot in the air, and then with my bonus action, he attacks with animate object, which he's already cast before. So now I'll use it as a bonus action.
Okay.
Did I do that wrong, or is that okay? Because when it's 4, it has a 4 action, and then afterwards I use it as a bonus action.
What are you trying to use as the bonus action?
Yeah, so my bonus action is animate object.
That's a
Every
spell.
round.
Is that a spell?
Yeah, it's a spell, but I can use it as a bonus action afterwards.
Yeah. So how do you use it as a bonus action? Because you've already cast the spell, and if you hold person is a 2nd level spell. So you could cast a bonus level cantrip, I think, if you've cast a spell.
Is it concentration?
Animate is hold monster is concentration also, right?
Yeah.
So sorry. So these marbles drop to the ground, and it's his miscalculation.
So is your mirror image, is that concentration as well?
No, all the other stuff is good to go. Like mirror image and all that sort of stuff is without. It's just hold.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough keeping track of all the spells that use concentration and not. Definitely. Perfect.
Yeah. He's done.
Perfect. All right, so the sea spawn will go. This one comes out, sees you up on the ceiling, flying up in the air. It can't reach you, so it's going to move in to attack Mir, I guess. Mir is definitely drawing.
I'm like the popular girl at the dance.
Yes. You shouldn't have worn that lipstick. 12, 10,
big,
no.
scaly, popular.
And when it tries to bite you,
miss,
20.
miss, hit.
Okay, for 5. Another one will try to hit you.
Passes my concentration. Hit.
And this one will try to drive a poison quill into you.
Pass concentration. Hits. So 3 hits.
Okay, so now you need to make a DC 12 Constitution save.
Okay. I rolled 3 concentration saves and saved all, so I'm gonna do a Constitution, and that's a crit.
Oh, perfect. So you're good. The poison does not make its way into you. 2 more unarmed strikes, a 14.
That's a miss.
11, that's a miss.
And a miss. So 3 hits.
This one will try to bite you. That's a miss. And then the last one.
Hit.
Hit.
And that's It's the save.
And this one tries to wrap a tentacle around your leg to pull you down.
Oh my god, there's so freaking many. Okay, save 11. Save with a 19.
Okay. And could you make a DC 12 athletics or acrobatics check?
Athletics. It's a huge creature. Does
Oh
that
yeah,
matter?
actually it's not gonna matter. It well, never mind. You're too big. It's trying to tug
How
at your
much
leg, but it's not gonna matter.
damage do I have?
That's that. And this one here attacks Bjorn. Oh shoot, wrong button. Sorry.
You guys
That's
are welcome.
12. That's a
I'm
miss.
sponging all these hits.
23. So that would be your oh geez, that's a good. You've taken damage, so you're gonna keep your rage. So you're gonna take 3 damage from that, and it tries to poison you with a miss. And that, I think, will bring us back to the top of the order with Akira.
Okay, so what's near me now?
Just this sea spawn that seems to. I mean, Bjorn is just kind of waving at the air, trying to fight off this sea spawn at the same time. So yeah, just this one thing that's attacking your friend.
Okay, is it within reach to hit, or do I gotta move to it?
Yeah, you could move. It's a short move, like 5 feet, and you could.
Okay. And where to go? Oh, there it is. Let's see. Yeah, I think I missed. I got a 10 and a 12 to hit.
12 will hit. So your offhand will hit.
Okay, 12 does hit.
And you do get your sneak damage because it's near an ally.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 12 points of damage.
Okay. That's with the sneak?
Yeah, that's what the sneak also.
Okay.
It was all those 1s and 2s.
Okay, yeah. All right, excellent. Now it's the water elementals.
All right, they're gonna clean house, basically kill anything nearby.
They have been. So they would be able to get to that sea spawn that is up there.
All right, first one is a crit.
Damn
one
you, Dan, and your Chris.
Is what is this? 19. 19.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a sense that these things aren't very fast, and they don't seem to have a sense to get out of the way of much damage.
Okie dokie. First one does 13, 19, 27. Oh. 31 bludgeoning damage.
Wow. That's that ends it.
Okay. Is there still a sea hag alive?
Yeah, the one that, if you look, the one that's making its way down the stairs, heading towards Mir.
I'll use, if it can use its movement to get to it, it'll use the second attack on it.
Yeah, it wouldn't get to it, but it's very close.
Ah, bastard.
Because it has to go around and down along the right side.
Okay. Alright, then that's all it can do.
I imagine that's what the other water elemental will do. Make its way down following the other to chase down the sea hag.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell it to do.
Perfect. And let me see. So that's Mir. You're up.
Alright, Mir is gonna focus on the paralyzed sea spawn.
Okay, so that's advantage.
Okay.
Is it my turn first?
Hits
though?
with a.
Oh, did I miss him? Oh, Bjorn. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I still under?
Yeah, so you got to make that save.
This hag still didn't get attacked.
No, it's actually been lucky enough to run down along the way where nobody is. So
Lucky depends for who. I'll use my last luck die.
Yep. Oh man.
I'm not getting there.
All right. 22 more psychic damage.
Right. Well, you can see Bjorn like kind of like screaming and grunting and trying to push these invisible things away, and then at one point you can start seeing like some saliva and like white foam dripping from his mouth, and then his eyes like roll back and he falls to the ground.
Oh shit! Really?
Oh yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
I've been taking like
I was rolling crazy
40
freaking psychic
damage to
damage.
turn for like 4 turns without
I had thought about
something,
bumping the spell
Gotta be
up.
like, I'm
but-
bloodied.
Holy gosh. Wow. Okay, so Bjorn falls at near your feet, Akira, and so I'm wondering if the spell would end. I imagine it would, once because you're no longer conscious, so that your fears would fade away. So that the hag would feel her magic dissipate. And Mir, now it's your turn.
Okay. She's gonna hit that paralyzed one. I rolled a 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a crit.
This one has already taken damage. You just crush it.
It's
It
dead.
doesn't have enough health
Dead,
left.
Jim.
Yeah. I
don't fucking know. She's gonna turn into a a gigantic flying pterodactyl, basically. I don't know how to pronounce its name.
That's perfectly fine. I fail my dinosaur lore all the time, so.
So she's gonna turn into that, and she's gonna take off with flyby. So she's gonna fly up to the roof and fly over to the like just out of range of the hag, so like the elementals can move in and hit her without.
So the other three would have an attack of opportunity against you as you move away from their threat.
They would not. So what it says is flyby. The
You actually have to have an attack, I think.
When it flies out of an enemy's reach.
Yeah, but I think doesn't a flyby? Don't you have to attack in order to use that?
It just says. So I'm looking at the stat block.
Oh
It
no, that's
says,
fine. That's fine.
The monster doesn't provoke an opportunity attack when it flies out of an enemy's reach.
Okay, perfect. So where are you flying to?
I'm flying up out of these guys' reach if I can, and towards the hag, so I can attack next turn.
Perfect.
That's my turn.
Toward the hag?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So that would mean it would be the sea hag's turn. She's either going to destroy those who killed her sisters, or she's going to die trying. Give me a wisdom save, Mir. That's you can tell I'm not metagaming because that's like your bread and butter stat. So.
It's just a giant pterodactyl. I mean, how wise could it be?
Right.
21.
Yeah. Again, you feel this magic trying to pervert you and twist your form, but you are able to avoid it or shake it off.
It's wiser than the barbarian, apparently.
Yeah. And she disappears down this tunnel.
Okay.
And that would bring up you, Mez.
Yeah, Mez goes after her for sure, flying after her.
Okay, what's your fly speed?
Dan, what for these boots? What is the fly speed for these flying boots?
It should be your running speed,
So 30.
My run.
I believe.
So then she does. How far does 30 take me?
It'll take you to there.
Right, if I dash?
Yep, you could totally be in this hall, right up to her. Now it's much
have an
narrower
8 feet.
here, and the ceiling is not as high. You'd only be the ceiling's only maybe 9 or 10 feet.
Cool.
Do you still want to chase in there?
Let me just think.
If you have an AOE, you could just chuck it in there and it'll fill up the space.
What's an AOE?
Area
Like a
of effect.
fireball or something
Yeah.
like that.
I don't. No,
So
she.
Are you gonna dash, or do you want to just stop short at your movement?
He is going to. He's gonna move the 30, and then he's gonna do again a potion. That's
Okay.
what he's gonna do. That's it.
And what size are you, Dan? By the way.
I'm huge.
Okay, so you're big
I,
too.
I can't follow her.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Can I recto that?
Yeah.
What
do you want to do?
that? He's gonna dash. He's gonna do that. He just goes. So he's directly behind us. That's what he's gonna do.
Okay, perfect.
And he's done.
Perfect. And now it's the sea spawn, which can't really do anything. They just start following after you, blindly reaching up at you, Mir. And then that brings us to the top of the order, Kira.
You're muted, Tons.
Yeah, my bad. So seeing Bjorn collapse, I pull out a potion of greater healing and like dump it down his throat.
All right, perfect.
If I have any movement, I'll probably chase after Mezereck.
Should I roll it?
Yeah, do you roll it or do I roll it?
Either way, you guys, either one of you could roll it. What are the water elementals doing? Making their way further down, chasing out, giving chase to the hag?
Yep. I'll sick the water elementals after the hag.
Okay, so you hear this whooshing of water behind you, Mez, and you see these two large elementals. They seem to, despite the narrowness of the hallway, they just seem to form to it. So they're right behind you. And that would bring you up, Mir. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Bjorn is up. You are literally up. You're on the ground, but you are up.
So I have fallen unconscious, but it hasn't been a full turn. So am I still raging?
No, I think your rage ends once you go. You're incapacitated.
Okay. And how about my potion of speed?
Shoot, I think that would. Is that a timed? If it's a timed potion, that it would still be working. But if it says that, if it says anything, I mean, I don't care. You can still use it.
Okay. All right. So like, getting back to his senses, he's like super confused and looking around. And I'm sorry, I wasn't listening that much since I was doing shit. So what does the battlefield looks like right now?
So there's these three spawn that are just reaching up. Every once in a while you see one of these thorns fire up at Mir, but wildly. But they seem to be chasing her. You saw Mez. No, you wouldn't have seen Mez go down the hallway. And you see the water elementals dip down that little hall as you kind of get up and look over. But other than that, the battle looks mostly won and over.
Okay. How far from me are the sea spawns?
Probably about 50 feet, 45, 50 feet.
Okay.
You could probably easily make it to them.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll run to them.
Yep.
And then I will rage again. 'Cause I'm super pissed.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'll swing at one.
Yep.
So recklessly.
Okay.
So that's 22.
22 damage.
To hit.
Oh no, that's definitely gonna hit. These things have an 11 armor class.
Okay. So that's 8 plus 18.
So that's 26.
And then
You'd almost kill this thing in one blow.
And then a d6 plus 7 radiant, so 32.
Okay, I
You
correct
do that.
myself. You kill this thing with one blow, literally almost cleaving it in two, from
Okay.
collarbone to hip with your
Sweet.
glaive.
I'll swing at the other one then.
Yep.
I'm going for it. So that's a crit.
Oh jeez, this is gonna be bad.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it because it's my time to shine.
Yeah. Come on, man.
So double dice, right?
Yep.
So my weapon gives me an additional die. To hit. So that's 36 damage.
Yeah. You
And
just
then-
cut through them like wheat.
Sweet. And then I'm gonna get the other one, hopefully. So 17, that hits
Yes.
as well.
Yep. So you just press into this attack. You're just hacking these things down.
28 damage.
Nearly slain.
So that was 3 hits, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I used that. Okay. So yeah, that's it for my turn.
Perfect.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Alright, Mir will sick the water elementals after the hag.
Yep, that's already happening.
Alright, cool. And I'll attack the last sea spawn with beast form.
Yeah, this thing does not look like it's got much.
It's a hit with a 24.
Yeah, just
It
describe how
does.
it happens, Dan, because it only.
It
has
just
4
dives
hit points.
down, picks it up, and like throws it against the wall, crack,
Yeah,
and it just falls into the pit.
yeah. It's just that sickening sound as it rolls and falls into the pit.
Okay.
Wilhelm
And,
scream.
Then I'll move the beast basically to cut off the hag's retreat to the south. Has what's its movement speed? 80-foot fly speed.
Yep.
So it'll try to get down there, and that's the end of my turn.
Perfect. Sea Hag's turn. Remind me again, Ian, how the mirror image works. I gotta roll a d.
Absolutely.
You roll a
So,
d20, and it determines whether or not.
Yeah, which one it goes for? Because there's 3 images. Roll over 6 to get an armor class of 12. Because it's 10 plus my dex.
Okay.
But before you even roll, because she's going to be attacking me, I'm assuming. There's something else you've got to roll beforehand because I'm going to use instinctive charm, so she's got to do DC as a reaction, DC 17 wisdom first. If she fails that, she has to attack something else other than me.
She got an 18.
Yeah, so she goes for me. So then the other one is out of these 3 images that are behind her, 4 images that are behind her, I need to roll a 6 or higher. If I roll a 6 or higher, it goes for one of these images, and then
Okay.
it's just got to be
So
behind
she's not targeting you. So this is weird. So. I've never run into this before, where she's casting Hold Person, which needs her to see you, and she does see you.
Yeah.
But so let me. This is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll a d20 and see which one of you she targets.
Really cool.
She targets one of your images, and you see it just lock up before it fades. But she does not get you. Do you have a weapon out, Mez?
No, the only thing that is happening at the moment is he is beginning to raise just the tiny bones and stones that are on the floor around us.
Perfect. She starts to run away from you. I was just wondering if you could make an attack of opportunity.
Obviously, no. Unfortunately, not.
How far could you move your beast, Mir?
80 feet.
Okay, so Ethel gets a surprise as she comes to the end of this tunnel, finding a surprise waiting for her.
She comes around the corner and
Yeah.
it's just like this gigantic pterodactyl, and she's like, "Wah!" Really loud.
And so she stops, and that's the end of her turn. All right, so that means we're back into the top of the order. Akira.
Mezereck?
Oh, sorry, Mez. Sorry, my man.
Yeah. No, it's okay, no worries. So Mezereck just like raises these tiny stones and bones and just tries to shred her with it.
Oh, yes. I'm just going to move you up a little bit because you would need that line of sight. But yeah, you can see her right there.
Absolutely. And that would be, what do I need to hit? Because I've just got, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So are you casting a spell?
Yes, definitely.
She turns around in panic, sees you drawing this magic, and she immediately, there's this rush of water in her voice, and she counters it. Is it level 3 or less?
I would like to counter her spell.
Counter? Nice. There's that look of shock as the magic she is using.
Oh, wait. No, I can't, because I used a reaction already. Fuck.
You did? When?
Wait, when did you use one?
Because I used instinctive charm
Yeah.
Oh, that is a reaction.
So yeah, your magic, you feel your magic cut off.
Yes.
You feel this sick, slick, gross, slimy magic crawl across yours, and it cuts you from the weave.
Isn't it a new turn?
It's a reaction.
Yeah.
But it's higher than level 3, right? Animated object? No?
Yeah, because if it's higher than that, then she has to roll.
Yeah, she has to roll for sure, sorry.
Oh, okay.
She does have to roll.
You give it a
Because
roll.
it's a...
She got a
it's a fifth
19.
level spell.
I know 19 is definitely high enough for that spell.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
she ends
absolutely.
All right,
Well,
perfect. So Mez, you are done, and now we're at the top of the order.
Sweet.
Kira.
Alright, so that's on me.
Yep.
So last I heard, I took off after, so how far did I make it?
Yeah, so you're just running down. You would see this large winged dinosaur, squawking at something in the tunnel. You can't quite see, but you would guess it's the hag. And
I can't see her.
you would probably not, because Mayor's big and flapping her wings. So
I'm huge, so he can move through my space to get at her.
You could. Do you want to dash as your bonus action?
Yeah.
And you can make it to her? Yep. You could. You duck under a wing, and then you see the hag. You see her. She's kind of turned, looking back down the tunnel. You see her. She kind of utters this something, and this. It sounds almost like foul rushing water. Go ahead and make an attack, sir.
Aromatic. Alright, so I can still attack?
Yep.
Alright. Do I get both or just one?
No, you use your bonus action to dash.
So I get both.
So,
It would just be the one
it would
attack.
just be the one attack, but you would have add sneak attack damage.
Sneak. Okay. So just one. Damn, I got 7, 20.
20 to hit?
Yeah.
Sorry, you miss. I'm just kidding.
Short.
Come on.
The donation dragon!
No, you totally hit this. She doesn't even see it coming. Roll up the damage.
Oh, nice. 10.
Describe it.
20.
She doesn't have that much health left.
Alright, so I also just run up. I just like one heavy cleave, just like straight to the top of her head, just like cut her wig right in half. As like watch her fall, I just put one foot on her back and cleave my blade right out.
Yeah. So with that, the battle ends. It grows quiet again in the cavern, and you tend to whatever wounds you have. And what do you all want to do? Just want to be mindful of time. So
Mir, she was here for a job, so she would go and look for the item that the turtle was after.
yeah, you find it easy enough. If you go back up onto the landing, tucked away in the back is this almost like this rough basket of stone and like this matted, damp, moldy straw. And sitting inside it, probably about half the size. I mean, how tall is Mir?
Like 4 feet tall.
Yeah, almost probably about almost as tall as Mir is this large oblong shape. It is pearl. It is shiny and almost pearlescent colored. The light, what little light flashing from the flames, dances across it. It seems to be a large egg of some sort.
Ooh.
I found it, she says, and orders the water elementals to basically like very preciously like surround.
What better way to carry an egg but water elemental? I mean, it's like talk about like
Exactly. Yeah.
no, don't crush it. Perfect. Yeah. So you find that. Do you guys do anything else in this layer?
Just here being a rogue I am, would pat down what sea hags I could find.
Yep. Yeah, if you look in that cauldron that they were looking into before, it's just this really kind of just very placid water. It seems to be maybe a little stagnant, but nothing else. It smells and feels of water. But you find a rotten, moldy chest, and inside is much of the wealth of these hags. I'll send that to you guys in our message chat. But yeah, you see the glint of coin and other valuables inside this chest, mixed in with a bunch of useless refuse, things that they had kept probably for some twisted memento. You carry the egg out of the cavern.
Carry a who?
Do you carry the egg out of the cavern?
Yeah, and Mir would use her powers to make the trip back as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
find-
have units with like healing and stuff like that if you need it.
You find an expectant Toba outside, and she moves quickly towards the four of you as you exit, and she sees suspended within these water elementals her precious egg. In your minds, you hear, "You've done it. You have gotten what is mine. I will do good on my word. I will lead you to my lair where you may take all of my treasure, all that you could carry." And you get this feeling, this emotion comes through, relief, joy. And unless you do anything else, Toba would lead you to her large undersea lair. And your eyes would immediately go large as you see this loosely spread treasure hoard.
Super.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Kira just stuffing all he can in his bag of holding in his quiver.
And I would imagine that you would, since you have, it's not King Toba, it's Queen Toba.
Yeah.
Is thankful that you have
Nice.
saved her egg, and she will help you to carry this treasure back. And again, I will put that in the game chat, and I want to thank my players. Well done. I like throwing you a little twist. I was wondering what you guys would do. When you guys were planning earlier, I'm like, oh, they're not even going to get to the twist because they're just going to freaking come out guns a-blazing. And so that encounter with the hags was much easier than I thought it was going to be. But you guys' planning was superb. You guys were so set before they even knew what hit them. They were almost dead. That was well done.
They took down a barbarian. Like,
Let me disagree on that statement.
That was one lucky spell, and the one hag that was able to run away, and because that hag would have been hit one more time and she would have been done. It was just some bad rolls on.
It's like my second session, basically doing nothing because I'm charged.
Oh man, I am so
yeah,
sorry.
I got him with it too.
But that's
got
okay.
Confusion.
You're gonna have some downtime, so you're gonna be able to heal it up, and then you're going into another one. And I'm sure you'll be able to really. I mean, when you were up, you were kicking some serious ass.
Yeah, we got 20 days and like 2 seconds to heal up. So.
Perfect. Awesome. So
Thanks,
I want to thank my players for playing. This was really fun. I don't do enough one-shots, but I really appreciate the fact that you guys let me do this one for you. So
No problem. Thank you. You was awesome.
With that, we will call it a day.